Hey guys, how you doing? It's the Director TTV here. I'm going to be giving you an advanced beginner's guide on exactly how to play Darwin utilizing some of the top 100 players. Rule number 1, loot up. At the beginning of each game there are two basic resources, armchairs which provide leather and trees which provide wood. Use these two resources to craft arrows, traps, and gear to help you survive. Rule number 2 is map awareness. Be aware of your surroundings. A red pulse on your screen shows a nearby enemy looting resources, while certain cabins have maps that show you information on your opponents around the map. 3. Stay warm. The blue meter on the right hand side of your map decreases over time. Build a fire using one of the pieces of wood you harvested to fill it back up. It's always smart to keep at least one, just in case. 4. Hunt deer. Killing a deer restores 50 health and you can loot it like you would a tree. Make sure not to get too close or it might run away. 5. Control your stamina. The white bar located on the bottom right of your map shows how much stamina you are using. If you completely deplete it, it turns red, making it so you can't sprint until it fills back up. Instead, make sure you stop sprinting or feather the sprint key to make sure it recharges faster in case of an emergency. Keeping it above 50% actually makes it recharge quicker. You can also sprint in all directions. 6. Grab electronics. While not necessary to win, they help quite a bit. Picking one up leaves you vulnerable and takes a lot of time unless you have a lumberjack axe upgraded, which helps you loot faster than normal. Getting a radar to spot nearby enemies or an escape such as a power leap or teleport helps you engage or disengage from a sticky situation. Getting an escape also helps you get out of a closing zone or nuke. 7. Using electronics. Electronics can be used in a lot of ways. They're really handy in a fight for a lot of reasons too. For example, if I had an enemy who had a radar and a turret, the radar to know my exact location and a turret to take shots at me, it's really easily countered with the camo electronic. Using the camo lets you slip under radar undetected while not allowing the turret to target you until the camo wears off. 8. Detecting traps. Whether it's a tripwire, bear trap, or cage trap, traps are almost completely invisible to you when placed by an enemy. There's two ways that make it easy for you to detect them. The first being the detector electronic, which will be shown a little bit later in the video. If you don't have one of those handy, you're going to be going in blind, but if you get close enough, you can still see them. If you think an enemy has placed a trap, which usually happens when you're chasing them, try to slow down a bit and try to swing your axe so you don't run into them. Traps are easily destroyed with your axe. Also, make sure to combo your traps. For example, a tripwire combo with a cage trap, which will lock you in a Hell in a Cell match. The objective of this is to juggle your opponent with your axe until they're dead against the wall of the cell. But be careful, it's a risky move and can backfire easily without practicing enough. Remember earlier when I mentioned that detector electronic? Similar to the radar, if you believe an area is littered with traps, use this electronic to make sure you don't run into them. 9. Deflecting. Your axe isn't just to hack your opponent to death. It can also deflect arrows and snowballs when timed right. Make sure to look for your enemy's animation of these actions to properly deflect them. A big question I run into is how to axe fight when I'm directing. The first swing is just the regular swing. The next swing that you see people do is the chop swing that swings down. And when an enemy charges you, you can do the uppercut swing like you're about to see here. A really important aspect of axe fighting is juggling. This is when you can juggle your opponent against a wall so they have no means of escape. Make sure to move back in between swings to let them panic swing so you can move them for the kill. Make sure to combo, don't just hit once. Hit once and then jump in for another axe swing to get the double hit. Once you have all that down, put it all together. This is a top fight right here between two of the top 100 players. Watch as they dodge and bait each other's hits while also jumping at the right time to make sure that their hits connect. Do not be a bunny. Do not do it. This is not Fortnite. This is Darwin Project. It takes about a third of your stamina bar when you jump, and not only that, not even including that, you cannot change directions while in the air. You are an open target to anybody who can actually aim a bow. Do not do it. Don't jump. Do not be a bunny. 11. Track your enemy. If you see an object that is lightly highlighted red, go over and track it to reveal your enemy's location for a short period of time. Go ahead and change these settings, okay? Harvest on melee attack. This makes it so if you're in a fight near a resource, you don't accidentally start to hit the resource instead of hitting your opponent. Also turn off your clue auto look cam. When you track someone, it spins your camera around for about a second to show you where they are. When the setting's off, you can turn by yourself and you can avoid a potential vulnerable moment. Use trees. For example, if you go hide in those trees that are not thick, like the ones like these, you can hide in there without being seen from your enemy. So you can easily come and surprise them when they come past. 13, peek right, do not peek left, alright? When you are on the right side of an object, you can peek without showing your body and hit a really easy shot. Versus if you're peeking from the left-hand side. When you peek from the left-hand side, you're very exposed. A few extra tips that a lot of people don't know. If an enemy places a tripwire and you just happen to run across it, if they come in to go and hit you, if you have that power leap, you can jump right out of the situation without being touched. Another useful thing that people don't know about traps is you can trap with a tripwire through things. So for example, you could trap through this cabin. You could trap through a rock. You could trap through a tree. And last but not least is 14, the boom shrooms. Use these to get out of areas quickly. Combo them with a jump, a glider, maybe even a teleport.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Elevate, and I'm going to give you a breakdown of my class. I run hunter arrows, so that way every shot I hit, I can track them for a decent amount of time. I run cage traps and tripwires, so that way I can do a tripwire cage trap combo, or maybe just tripwire. I have gliders for the Great Escape. I run camo. Usually that's my second or third electronic purchase. I usually start out with radar, and then go for a gap closer, which is my super leap. I run speed boots. You know, you want to be fast, you gotta go. I run ghost cloak, so that way when people pick up clues on me, the duration is minus 10% per level. And then I run lumberjack for faster and more efficient looting.
Every reset, I'm running starter arrows so I can save my material for other equipment. I'm running tripwire and bear trap so I can combo, but it's not a priority. And I have my glider on because it's a new meta at the moment. And for my electronics, I typically get power leap first, and then I run radar after and camo last. And I have speed boots because it gives you the highest base speed without having to activate anything, and runner cloak for the stamina because the drawback on the arrow does take away your stamina and you need to regain that. And I max my lumberjack first, of course, and then I move on to my boots, and last is my runner's cloak.
Alright guys, hopefully these tips helped you out. If you have any more questions, come in and hop in the stream.